The subtopics that will be covered in this panel discussion would be success of NEM 2.0 program, what's the outlook of the solar industry in Malaysia right now for 2021, what major improvements are required in rooftop solar projects in Malaysia, LSS versus rooftop, what is the right one for Malaysia and why, what is your take on O&M of rooftop projects, any extension on the existing NAM scheme is expected after the deadline ends of 31st December 2020. How is P2p status of policies in Malaysia? What is the pricing for per kilowatt rooftop? And are we on the right track to achieve the target of 20% renewable energy by 2025? We have eminent speakers with us. Mr. KK Kong, who is an MD at Macro Energy SDM, Mr. Chong Bor Hung, who is an head BD and Managing Partner, Malaysia, NEFIN Group, Mr. Jael Jiang, who is the Sales Manager, Southeast Asia, Goodby Solar. I request all the panelists to kindly unmute themselves and switch on their cameras.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir.
Hi.
Mr. Jael, are you there with us? Would you mind switching on your camera, please?
Yes, I'm in here, yes.
Mr. Kong, I hand over the session to you now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the organizer. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I have here with me Bor Hung and then Jael. Okay. Bor Hung is an old friend. We have known each other for many years, and he's the co-founder of NEFIN Group, and he's the managing partner for NEFIN Malaysia and head of business development. And he have grown the NEFIN from scratch to be one of the largest solar player in Malaysia. And I've here Jael have just finished a very good, impressive presentation about Goodby with very quality products. And Jael have more than 12 years experience in solar industries. And I don't need to introduce the company because we have seen it just now. So without further ado, allow me to ask some questions okay, what do you think of, maybe Bor Hung can take this question. What do you think about the outlook of solar industry in Malaysia compared with other countries?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. Yeah, so we have been active in Malaysia for a while now, and we have mostly been active on the CNI rooftop space. So we see that the rooftop solar industry in Malaysia is quite a positive market, a lot of area for potential growth. And compared to other industry, compared to other markets, let's say like Thailand, which has already been extremely competitive or similar to Singapore, or compared to another neighboring, let's say Indonesia, which is also a huge market, but that the policies are just not so ready. The market is just not so ready for penetration. I would say that Malaysia CNI rooftop market is quite ripe for growth and investment.
Okay, happy to hear that. So how about Jael?
Yes, KK, yes. How are you doing?
Hi, good. Yes, so what's your strategy for the business plan in Southeast Asia or in Malaysia?
Yes, it's a very good question, KK. And actually, according to my personal understanding and my personal behavior, I want to say that in the future, when we're working with Malaysia friends, we want to, I want to say that the Goodby people from our core teams, our sales team and marketing teams, we will fully respect the Malaysia local people's friendly and the local people's behavior, and fully respect the requirements of our Malaysia customer, because all of the elements all of the business elements and the successful elements is sourcing from the customer. We need to listening, to understanding the customer, what they need, what they expect, really need. And especially we also monitoring that in the future, the Malaysia business will expanding very fast. Congratulations, very good news and information. And from us, we will keep invest not only working people into the Malaysia local services, but we will also invest a lot in marketing influence and invest a lot of money into our R&D to make sure our products could be fully well used for Malaysia market and environment. That is that is my main idea.
Yes, yes. So both Bor Hung and Jel also reckon that Malaysia is quite a stable and a good market for the renewable energy to grow. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So, and there are some questions from the audience. One of it is, what do you think that over these few years, what was the major improvement that has happened, and what other further improvement needed, for this rooftop to continue to grow healthily? Bor Hung?
Sure. I think the first, there are of course a few stakeholders, that make the growth in the rooftop market possible. First, the Malaysian policy, the tax incentive definitely helps investment into the sector, right? The availability of the NEM 2.0, right? After the NEM 2.0 in 2019, we have seen a lot of increase in the uptake in the NEM quota. So you can also see that like this year, right, there's a much bigger NEM quota uptake. So we can see that the policy support has been critical to the rooftop solar market in Malaysia. But I would say that one of the most important thing is actually on the supplier side and the supply chain side, whether it's from the EPC or from the panel and the inverter suppliers, their ability to continuously provide cost competitive solution, improvement in technology, allow improvement in what we call LCOE, the cost of energy has come down. Cost of solar energy has come down significantly. It has come down to the extent that the cost of solar energy is cheaper than grid electricity, right? And this has allowed the rooftop solar market to really grow because it is just a natural thing for anyone with the investment capability to invest in rooftop solar business. So I would say a combination of the supply chain as well as the policy support has made the growth in the rooftop solar very good and possible.
So how about Ajel? What can we do, as a Malaysian, that to welcome, foreign technology provider like you to come here and provide us with good technologies, good products, you see? So is the policy and stuff that what do you think about Malaysia policy and
yes,
here?
According to my understanding, that the goodwill, when we're talking about the goodwill, this company and this brand, you will connected our Emergence to two things. One is goodwill is very, very focused on R&D. Consider about that. Goodwill only have 10,000 staff, but we have 200 of the people only working for R&D. More than 20% of the R&D staff, which means goodwill could design and fully respect the different local countries, different electricity grid and the parameters and the different requirements. We already achieved to win the market in European, in South Africa, in South America, in everywhere. Like Malaysia, we are not fresh in here. We already got a very major sales channels, and I already built up a very major after sales services center in Malaysia. So according to my understanding, we can very well to serve for Malaysia government and Malaysia friends. And another thing is Goodwi's products is we are famous and we are proud by its reliability. Goodwi maybe is a young company, but our products reputation is famous at its reliability because of its very good and super solid quality. We wish our products could make customer less and less problem and only give customer profit.
Yeah,
That's
that is very important. Yeah, so as a sum up, yeah, I personally like to thank the authority like SEDA, Energy Commission, TNB. They've actually done a very good job to setting up a lot of charter and SOP to smoothen the process of applications, and resulting that our rooftop market is booming now, and
yes.
the other agency is MIDA, that give tax incentive to the adopter of rooftop solar. So that is very interesting. So, and SEDA also have two category. One is investors category, one is service provider.
Okay.
I think yeah, KK is he got cut, yeah. Joe, you can hear me well, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear to you.
All right.
I think we have lost Mr. KK.
Sure.
Yes, I suppose there's some connectivity issue from his end. We'll just wait for a while.
Sure.
That's for the hi.
Okay.
Is it better?
Okay.
Back again.
Yeah. We lost you for about half a minute there.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. So, yeah, basically, I like to sum up that for this portion of the questions, which is the improvement that we have achieved for rooftop, is our government authorities that involved in this rooftop business, which is SEDA, TNB, Energy Commission, MIDA, that give the tax incentive, have done quite a good job for local and overseas players that enable to grow this rooftop market. That is something that we uniquely identify ourselves as a Malaysia from other markets that is not that clear cut in terms of the policy and the procedures. Yeah. So example, NEFIN, Bor Hung, you all are active in Southeast Asia, so Malaysia relatively is pretty straightforward and very clear. Is that correct?
I would say that like you said, I agree that SEDA and MIDA, yeah, are really doing their best to support the solar industry, right? And we also see a positive outlook there, which is why NEFIN is also investing more and more, yeah. In fact, even during the MCO period, we are actively hiring, right, to grow our business in Malaysia. But I would still say that, like many markets, one of the key challenge is still the utility company, TNB. Yeah. I don't know whether we'll go into that a bit more later, but for example, the challenges that we face with the high fault level issue, right? That things like this really really hinder, right, the growth of the solar industry. And also the licensing process still take a significant amount of time, and that is with ST, right? So I would say that we are always looking for ways to improve the process with TNB and ST, but we see support from SEDA and MIDA.
Very good, very good. So we hope that they are friends of ST and Energy Commission here. They can take these notes, you see. Yeah, personally, our companies also face these kind of challenges. So there must be open communication with all the stakeholders to expedite all this. Okay, the next question that was also asked in the previous session LSS solar farm versus rooftop? Which one do you think is right for Malaysia and why? Maybe Bohong?
Sure. I think for every market that we've looked at, right, there must be a combination of rooftop and LSS projects. Or let's word it in more generic terms. There must be a combination of centralized generation and distributed solar generation, right? I think one of the key examples is like China, which has increased their solar deployment very quickly in a very short amount of time. And they do this very much through LSS projects, right? Each project is big and you can get a big installation in one shot. But when these kind of things happen in a very short amount of time, curtailment becomes a very quick issue in the market, which really hinders investment, right? And when the investment confidence in the industry is hit, it takes a significant amount of time to recover from it. So the way I see it, that there must be a combination of both. But in order to hit our 20% renewable energy target by 2025, I would say that the way things are looking, rooftop solar must play a bigger role than LSS. If you look at the current plan, by LSS 1, 2, and 3, we have about 1.6 gigawatt, going to be installed. Including LSS 4, let's say by 2023, we're going to have 2.6 gigawatt installed. But we need almost 10 times that amount to hit our target of the 20% renewable energy by 2025. So if we're going to achieve that, and in a very short amount of time, in order to overcome the curtailment issue and also to ensure grid stability, right, then a lot of the solar deployment will have to be on rooftop.
Yeah, okay. That's we have a clear winner here, as in rooftop for Bohong. How about Jal?
Yeah.
Rooftop or solar farm?
Mm-hmm.
Which one's suitable for Malaysia?
From my understanding and my analysis, actually, I got a lot of chat and numbers from my analysis department. We've really found that especially in the last year in Malaysia, Malaysia are using more and more power plant. We call it ground funded, and the distributed project is keep the same increasing speed, which means the power plant is increasing fast, but the residential installation is also increasing, but increasing speed as the same as the history. So according to this year and a lot of good news, positive news released from Malaysia government, I fully believe in the next 1 or 2 years, Malaysia's business PV business will be a very good, very fast increasing, even like Vietnam. That is my personal feeling.
I see. Cool. So I guess could we also venturing very big in targeting rooftop, right? So it's a clear direction that, you know, in my opinion, also rooftop will be more effective use of the space, you know, for solar generation.
Yeah.
The next question from the audience is this: what is your take on the O&M for the rooftop projects? Mohong?
For the O&M for rooftop, I think this is actually overlooked market at the moment, yeah. In that many people are not really focusing on rooftop O&M business, but this will be a big market in the future. There's quite a lot of rooftop solar installation now, right? And more and more of them are being installed, and that means that within a certain location, within a certain vicinity, we're going to get more and more rooftop installations. This allows for a more effective O&M team, O&M deployment, and allows for a more profitable O&M business. So we see that the O&M business will become more important, especially as the age of the solar plants get older, right? Beginning few years, solar plant probably should be fine, but by the time they get to maybe their 10th year, you start seeing issues that O&M really needs to ramp up and to improve on the availability and the PR of the plants. So we see O&M to be an overlooked business at the moment, and it should be increasingly important business in the solar industry. It's also important because of that. When we do solar plants investment and installation, our design team will always involve the O&M team. Meaning when we are doing system design, the O&M team has to involve to say how they want the systems to be designed so that it's O&M friendly. Yeah. So I think this is an important aspect to consider, because this system, we want to use it for 25 years, 30 years even. Right? So how do we make sure that it is not just friendly for the installers and cost efficient, but also that we can maintain it in a cost effective manner and allow it to have high generation in the long term.
Exactly. Just to share with the audience, we have helped the SEDA to deploy a monitoring system to 120 sites in Malaysia, retrofitting various brand of inverters with weather station and data loggers to pull data out and to do analysis at national level. So for the past 2 years, we have seen quite a lot of various different qualities of the solar farm, solar rooftop systems around Malaysia. So yeah, I believe a lot of the plant has not been maintained properly and just leave it there like that. And it's very interesting to see that, you know, people are just doesn't take care of their plant. So I believe I concur that, you know, this will be a very important things to be looked at, especially when Malaysia solar grow from an infancy stage to a more mature stage in years to come. So, Zhao, how about your technologies? You know, does your system provide very good monitoring system to ease the operation maintenance kind of stuff?
Yes, good. We always offer the technology which could make the customer and the end user to monitoring and controlling your power plants in a very easy way. And we already update our cell phone terminal software versions, and actually we always keep running this kind of updating, and to make it more easy to control and more easy to monitoring by people. And meanwhile, Goodway is a company which very do a lot of jobs to make the installation for the when the solar inverters, the first time installation more easily for people, and more light, the less of the weight, and easy to manual hand lifting, and very easy to install the wires, install the software, install everything. So even without very professional training, and a lot of people can, in the future, you can install our Goodway's PV inverters by yourself.
I see. Good. Thank you very much. So the next question is there any extension on the existing NEM scheme 2.0 that are expected to expire 31st December 2020? So any one of you having any rumors, will this be extended?
I think, KK, you might have more access to such news than us. Yeah, what do you think?
Okay, our chat the authorities is working hard to, of course, the spirit is there to continue the program, you know, because we still have a long way to go to achieve the 20% renewable energies. So let's leave it to the authorities to sort out the paperwork and to table up to the cabinet and this and that, you know. I have full confidence that this will be extended, you know, to next year. But nevertheless, any adopters or investors should do this as soon as possible, you know. If you have this intention, no need to think further, you know, you should just take action and capitalize on the cheap and affordable solar investment at the moment, and also the incentive tax allowance, you see. So, okay. The next question is, how is the P2P status and policy in Malaysia? Okay, so before that question, probably does Bor Hung and Jel, do you aware that this P2P thingy is how about your experience in overseas about P2P?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, you can answer that.
Probably, yeah, Bor Hung first.
Okay, sure. I mean, P2P, actually, we always see that as a very important milestone for any market, because P2P really enables even faster growth of solar rooftop in that market, right? So there's always the challenge of finding the three things that are needed for a solar project. You need a good site, you need financing, and you need energy consumption, right? So nowadays, so NEFIN is always providing financing solution and making use of the site of the rooftop. Very often of the time, we are restricted because we want to make sure that the consumer, the building that we are building on, can consume the electricity, right? P2P allows us to sell anywhere, right? To any other customer connected to the grid. So we see this as a very important milestone for any market. But it is always very challenging because there are so many stakeholders, not just in the solar industry, but in the whole energy industry, in the whole country, right, that will be affected by the P2P policy. And in places include everywhere in Southeast Asia, except Singapore, yeah, we see that people try to push for P2P, but it's not really moving much, except for Singapore. And even China as well, P2P is only always in a test run, very difficult to get a quota, and a lot of restriction. So I think Malaysia is also in a similar situation where we are just starting, having a test run, a lot of restriction if you want to try P2P, and not really able to deploy P2P on a large scale.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And according to my experience, P2P is a very important strategy or manner to very quickly increasing the PV installation. I believe that with P2P support, I think, yeah, its positive side, it could be help the owners get enough funds to finish the installation. But like you said, it's high risk and some problems and some problem obstacles will link to this. In China, the P2P is also a very critical, how to say, subjects. Some people like it, some people doesn't like it. And I think, but I cannot give too much judgment about how it's running in Malaysia. But in China, it's, I know, according to my understanding, many of the P2P is monitoring by governments now, and to make it more principled. Yeah. Yes, that's it.
So basically, the current P2P status in Malaysia is they are in sandbox pilot test, for your information. And one of our client is in the sandbox doing this pilot test. So the government is, Malaysia government is very careful in this to make sure that the pilot test is a success before it's being rolled out. So they are collecting data and hopefully everybody can patiently wait, you know. I'm sure that this is the way to go to even further grow the rooftop market because like Bo Hong mentioned, there are many roofs that are very less energy consumption, um, like warehouse and logistics warehouse and some we have customers that have like 10 acres of rooftop but only use less than 1 acres, you see. So the rest is all idling on or empty at the moment, you see. So imagine that they can install the solar panel and sell to neighbor that you high consumption or further away. Just give a toll fee to TNB. Um, then that's it. The 20% target will be achieved very soon before we know it, you see. So yes, the consensus of the panelists here is P2P is a very important um, policy to grow the rooftop market further. Yeah. So let me see. There's two more questions from the floor. Is wow, what is the price for rooftop per kilowatt peak as we speak? Okay. What? How? Yeah. Joe.
Yeah. Again, yeah, I think it depends on how many elements will including into this package because you know
Okay.
it's rooftop, it's including frame, it's including aluminum frame, including the PV inverter, including the wires, including the PV panels, and including some tax and even some land cost. Uh, I
What's the range probably? Do you have
yeah
a range that are in your Southeast Asia market? You see every country is different price, is it?
yeah. It's quite different according to current situation in China. I cannot judge for Malaysia for now, but
Okay.
according to situation in China, it's about the total cost. It's already less than zero point 0.5 RMB, Chinese RMB,
Wow,
for 1 kilowatt hour.
I see.
Yeah,
I
the
see.
cost is already less than this.
Okay. Okay. Bohong?
Well, okay. So we can look at two parts, right? One is the cost of installing the solar system. Another is the cost of using the solar system. So NEFIN's business model is mostly that we invest in the solar system and we sell the solar electricity to the customer, right? So for us, we are always able to sell the solar electricity at a significant discount to TNB. So we are talking about more than 20% discount to the TNB tariff. Yeah. So with that, our customers, without needing to come up with any money, get a discount from TNB price. In terms of the cost of installing the solar system, every year it is coming down. Yeah. Even though I think for the second half of this year, we're going to see some uptick because of upstream price increases. But for now, I think similar to what Yang said, in Malaysia, costs are a bit higher than China, but we are seeing less than, let's say, about 3 ringgit per watt for utility scale or commercial scale solar systems. This is higher for residential because it's so small, but for larger scale, let's say 1 megawatt above, then that is the cost that we can see.
Yes. So it's getting more and more affordable. Okay. So the last question is, yeah, are we, as to wrap this up, are we on the right track to achieve this target of 20% renewable energy by year 2025? Well,
Okay, my opinion is actually less positive than what we've heard in the seminar so far. Yeah,
okay.
so far I see that we are quite a bit off. If we talk about install capacity, we can get there. Yeah, when I say install, meaning let's say Malaysia has about 33 gigawatt of power plant install. Then let's say 20% of that, 7 gigawatt of solar. I think that is solar or renewable. I think that is achievable. But we have to remember that the capacity factor for solar is much lower. yeah, than most energy generation. Most energy that I think Malaysia average capacity factor is about 60%, while solar is like 15%, right? In other words, to achieve those numbers that we talk about, 20% of energy consumption, we need about 4 times of 7, right? So we need about 25 gigawatts of installation to hit the 20% of energy being generated by renewable sources. And the way I see it, we are very far away from 25 gigawatt. Like I said, if you add up the LSS from now, right, from the past until 2023, you will get 2.6 gigawatt. Let's add another 2 gigawatt, yeah, for 2023 to 2025. That gives you 4.6 gigawatt. Let's call it 5 gigawatt. You still have, right, more than 10 gigawatts of rooftop that is needed. And with the current policy, we are a bit far away from that, yeah. So that is why we see additional policy support, things like liberalization of the market, things like P2p needs to be enabled for us to achieve the 20% renewable energy target.
Yeah, very good point. So how about Joe?
Yeah, my comments about this question is quite simple. If Malaysia is a high-speed train, I think we are on the right track, but our speed is not already enough now. Yeah, we are on the right track. Everybody we working here, we talking and the discussion here is about how to increase the renewable energy in Malaysia, especially for solar. Yeah, but like Chun mentioned that our speed probably is still behind the schedule. But I think in the future, the government will notice that and will invest more and more resources into and helping all the companies and foreign investors to doing better jobs. I believe that. Yes.
Okay, good. So our industry need to work harder to help the country to generate and to achieve this target. Yeah, so still a long way to go, but it's an exciting journey to move forward to. Okay, yes, that's all for the questions. That is from the floor. Is there any other questions that for our panelists here? Okay. There is one question. Probably I can take one or two more. What is the average O&M price against CAPEX? That is quite subjective. Bor Hung?
Yeah, I saw one of the questions directed to me on that. I mean, look, like actually, it's so true. Like KK said, it is so subjective. It depends on the location. It depends on roof access. It depends on the type of roof, right? The type of solar installation. Yeah. But to give a very ballpark figure, typically is about 2% of capex per year. In O&M, that should be a simple rule of thumb.
Okay, yeah, about there. So, but again, it's subject to site condition.
Yeah. Like for example, one site, if you need to cut the grass, right, every month, another site you don't have anything like that. You are just washing the panels. So these are very different scope of work that result in very different O&M costs.
Exactly. If it's the rooftop, the access is very difficult. You need 25-ton skylift only you can access. That will make the O&M cost skyrocket and difference, you see. So I hope we have answered your questions. Probably the panelists can have a glance through on the questions, Q&A. If you would like to take any of the questions. If not, I think our time is just nice, 5:30. So any last word from you guys?
I think one last thing, which is also a question here is why is carbon neutrality important, for us and for our customers? Our mission is to provide carbon neutrality solution to our customers, and we do that for many Fortune 500 companies. One of them is Tesco, which we are working with now on the largest PPA project in Malaysia. So as fighting global warming becomes a more and more important topic in discussion, many companies are committing to achieving carbon neutrality in a very short amount of time. And this is in order to create a better environment for society and for the world, right? And so we are, through solutions, through our financing solution, through our technical solutions, are helping our customers achieve carbon neutrality. And we do this at zero cost to our customers.
Yes. So Malaysia is aware of that. There's an agency called MGTC that is working hard on this carbon neutrality and reduce carbon footprint. The environment attribute, we call it. So the environment attribute from the solar plant is something that is everybody is looking into. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Bor Hung and Jel, for your precious time and to share your insights about this roadmap to achieve 20% of renewable energy for Malaysia as an emerging market. So, and thank you, First View.
Okay.
Thank you, KK.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jel.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you.
Right.
I would like to thank all the key panelists for your valuable insights. I would now request a representative from LONGi and a representative from Goodby for the thank you remarks.
So,
can I have a representative from LONGi Solar?
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for all the attendees and all the speakers to share the information to us. Yes, thanks.
Thank you. A representative from Goodby Solar, please. Okay. With this positive note, we would like to end today's webinar. On behalf of First View Media Ventures Private Limited, I would like to thank all the speaker panelists, all the attendees for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.